morning, everyone. Welcome to, of course, the Crüe's Roundtable. As always, joined by Mike, the Bucker Sadors.
That bucking guy, brother. That bucking guy.
Yeah,
What's up, my man?
Living the dream, living the dream. We actually, for those of us who joined us for our live draft show, God bless you, because that was 1,455 hours.
Dude, Brian was on for 4.5 hours, right? He's probably still hoarse. That's why he's not coming on today.
Yeah, but looks aren't everything.
So today's show, we're going to do some post-draft coverage and whatnot, but we have a special guest coming on. First and foremost, we'll bring Jay DAWGS on, let him intro the shows he's with and talk about what he likes in the NFC. I know he's got some terrible team he likes, but we're not going to get into that just yet. Jay DAWGS, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this cast right here. You know what I'm saying? I am Jay DAWGS, of course, the buff nerd. Hey, let's go. I'm on Chop Shop, part of Big Game Entertainment. We're also on YouTube, Facebook. Like I said, we have Chop Shop on Tuesday, 6 p.m. And, of course, Big Game Sports Buzz Thursday, 6 p.m. We do that with Big Game James and man, we just try to make it fun, make it informative, and try to help people, understand why the Cowboys are the best.
It's going to take a lot to make people understand that, ain't it? Good Lord.
Is there a different Dallas Cowboys team that we're talking about?
Every year it's a different Cowboys team that's going to win the Super Bowl.
Although, like we were talking about, you guys did pick up a defensive end from UCF, of course, one of the greatest football programs in the history of ever.
It turned out high class, right? It turned out high class, man. They got cheated. They get cheated because they have a great. They do have a great program, and they, go undefeated. Get a chance. What are we doing here?
2 years in a row.
I mean, who's the best player to come out of UCF, eh? Isn't it Blake Bortles?
Well, several.
Isn't Blake Bortles who you hang your hat on UCF?
Well, okay, granted, he's up there. Don't get me wrong. Ish. Anyway,
he's got a winning record in playoffs.
There you go.
You got Asante Samuel. You
had
the one wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. What was his name? B. Marshall.
The one wide receiver from the Chicago Bears. That's all you had to say.
Brandon Marshall.
You've had one in 13 years.
Oh my goodness, there's actually quite a few. Fellow by name Murray. He was a running back for the Saints.
Does anybody know?
Right?
Like, were they known when they were with the Bears? That's the question.
I mean,
yeah.
Welcome to the show.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is like home, man.
Hey, we got the new generation. Fellow by name of Davis. Davis out in Buffalo.
You can't fault the Bears the Bears receivers though, because they've only had Jay Cutler in the past.
Oh God,
12 decades.
But they haven't necessarily had an offensive line to protect Jay Cutler. That's the problem.
Cutler, Tim Couch, had him, didn't you?
Yeah. Hey, we got another member of your crew, Jay DAWGS.
Hey,
Big Game. What's going on, my man?
Hey, good morning, man. How y'all doing?
How are you, sir?
Hey,
we're just bashing the Bears.
Running like a chicken with my head. Cause it's easy to smash the Bears. That's what opponents do every Sunday.
We're going to talk about the greatest college football program and the greatest team ever. UCF Knights and the Chicago Bears, of course.
I hadn't seen Andy in a long time, so I figured I'd hit him with that real early this morning.
So, let's get into the NFC North, Andy. What you got cooking up?
Well, if in fact you want to get to the greatest football team in the NFL ever,
You've had the longest history. You still don't have the most wins, but okay, it's historic. Let's go there.
You know what? Just like that, you're going to earn yourself a mute. So just start from the beginning. You have the quarterback from Washington, Kyler Gordon, is actually the Bears' first pick, of course, in the second round. Okay, I can see it. I can totally see it.
It's a reach.
big kid, fast kid. We'll see because think about it. We've been talking about this for weeks. You have the different schemes within different teams and different defenses, and he might be a perfect fit.
He might be, and I might wear a medium.
That's
what medium husky.
That is a real size.
You wear a medium husky.
You hadn't seen the medium since middle school.
Actually, I was scrawny till I graduated.
The fact that you said husky size, like that's a size.
At Tom McCann and at the shoe store, the husky used to be a thing.
Wow. There you go.
Thank you, James, for that clarification.
So Kyle Gordon, though, cornerback. I mean, Washington.
Yeah.
You have a quarterback who has needs, right? I mean, you address that.
They have, in fact, they address several of those needs. In particular, with the 117 offensive linemen that they drafted and they picked up over the last couple of weeks. So, including, I think, let me see, you have, for example, Braxton Jones, tackle from Southern Utah. You've also got, for example, Zach Thomas. Not that Zach Thomas.
Right. Yes, it was.
Yeah, bring him back.
Doug Kramer, center from Illinois, 6'2", 299. I think he might be a little bit undersized, but okay.
Yeah, but center, that's a good pickup.
Yeah.
He played both center and guard at Illinois. So, I mean, he gives you versatility there.
In Illinois,
I just want to see the Cody Whitehair kind of thing where you have a rookie coming in, he's 295 pounds when he's like maybe 275, 280.
Yeah, but you don't want a big center, do you? Usually centers, I mean, what I've kind of seen is the quote-unquote undersized, smaller centers are usually pretty good. Always usually have good linemen that come out of their school, Illinois, Iowa, like those Midwest schools, Wisconsin. So, I think he'll be, and my thing is as far as the center, if he's smart, if he can get it together, hey, you can kind of do some things.
No, absolutely. However, like I said, Cody Whitehair is the same way in the fact that smart for the most part, pretty good captain on that line, making sure everybody's in the right positions. But then you kind of get like, for example, an Akeem Nicks, who's 330 pounds, 340 pounds, that just wipes the floor with him.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that bulk to be able to kind of sort of, and technique can only go so far when you have 340 pounds bearing down at you.
Are they gonna? What are they gonna do with? Well, my thing is how they're going to scheme for the quarterback.
See, that's also kind of interesting. Scheme-wise, okay, so now you have the offensive line that could potentially protect him. So he may not necessarily have to scramble around, keep that play alive, which, of course, brings in your wide receivers. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. I better break out and, break my route and kind of get free. But then they also have themselves 2, possibly 3 tight ends. So he definitely has the weapons. Running back, for example, and I think they were looking for a good old-fashioned fullback. So you definitely are going to have protection. You're going to have the possibility of 1, possibly 2 release points, and you have a big-time wide receiver, for example, like oh goodness, what is his name? Velus Jones from Tennessee, who
that's a name
is fast. That's pretty much so far all I can really say about
him. He's a special teams contributor there, though. I mean, do you really? You had a need. That's what bothers me about the Bears draft is they had a need. I'm not saying you have to get wide receivers, but if you're not going to get a wide receiver, get a tackle, get a guard, get something with depth in this draft that you can build your future on. I mean,
sure.
Justin Fields is going to be a good quarterback if he's given a program he can succeed in.
I mean, I agree. I actually do agree with that. But like I said, the Bears actually did pick up Braxton Jones, offensive tackle, Southern Utah. So, there's a potential there, and he can possibly work himself into maybe a Pro Bowler. You never know. Is it Jatir or Jatire Carter? He was a guard from Southern. Don't really know a whole lot about him player-wise. But, you have literally several offensive linemen within the 7 picks that the Bears have. So we'll see.
Jatire Carter out of Southern is not a bad player, and he's a guy who went into the Senior Bowl listed as a tackle, but he's going to get moved inside in the NFL. Great feet, great hands. He's small for a tackle. That's why in your interior, he should be okay if he has help coming from your center. The thing about the Bears, if you look at it on paper, they tried to address offensive linemen with the picks they had and where they got them at. You don't know how many of these guys are going to have to be developed into a starter, that swing man. You know, you get game day, you might only dress 7 or 8 offensive linemen. So now who's going to make that lineman rotation to be able to get in there and be a staple and can play multiple positions? So you got to find that 1 or 2 guys in there that can play multiple positions. So in case you need to rotate them in, they're helping you in more ways than one.
Right. So you get a punter. I mean, being a Bears fan, you got to be happy having a punter since he's going to be on your field the majority of your offense. So, gotta love that. No, but seriously, what grade are you giving your Bears, Andy?
So, it's kind of interesting because we also Elijah Hicks, DB from California. Anyway, if you could actually do like a one of those kind of a things, you know, as an old educator myself, I would kind of give them like a B minus, or like kind of a C plus-ish kind of a thing. You know, there's a few players there that are from smaller schools that you don't really have. I personally don't really have a whole lot of film or anything like that to be able to see who, what, when, and where. However, I would kind of give them a high C, low B kind of a grade.
Right on.
You know,
yeah,
right.
I had him as a C myself.
Yeah, because you got your receivers, you got your offensive line, and you got that elusive punter.
Right, but
at least they didn't give up 16 picks in order to be able to jump to the second pick for that punter.
So my thing is this is they could have had a B, but I really think they reached with Kyle Gordon, the cornerback from Washington, and I think they reached with Jones Jr. at Tennessee. I think he contributes, but I think it's on special teams, and then you could have picked that up later in the draft. Yeah. But I got him with a C. So
yeah, I'm for the most part I'm okay with that.
Let's go from one of the worst drafts in the NFC North to one of the best. What do you think about them Detroit Lions?
Wow,
dude,
that was
solid. Just by having the number 2 pick, and the kid's staying home basically. He's staying home in Michigan. You know, Aiden Hutchinson, of course, defensive end Michigan. That's a definite plus for the Lions, especially on that line. Which, you know, how many sacks did they have last year? How many forced fumbles and pressures and things like that?
I think they had 2 sacks, one on the defensive tackle and one on the edge, but no one else on that defensive line had a sack on him.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's going to start day 1, but chances are, guess what? He's going to be starting day 1.
Yeah, he's going to start day 1.
Right. So
there's not a lot to choose from in Detroit. Yeah. They need all the help they can
Pickens. Get. Yeah.
But you also get Jameson Williams, who's, I mean, granted, he's got to have a quarterback to throw him the ball, but dude's a burner.
So you're saying that their current quarterback is not going to be able to do all that?
You know what? He was a first-round draft pick. He definitely has the talent to play in the NFL. I just don't think he has the headspace to play in the NFL right now. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I've been wrong once before. It was a math class, long story. Turns out I was right, but thinking I was wrong, I was wrong. But anyway, the Lions doubled up on the edge.
That's just important, huh?
The Lions doubled up on the edge by picking up Pachal from Kentucky as well.
I was kind of confused about that one. I think maybe more just the place of where he was picked, but I don't know. I noticed there was a lot of Kentucky guys that were, in my opinion, I say a lot, but they were picked this year. And you know, is Kentucky
not
really
the NBA draft?
You know, did they get confused or
right?
I don't know. But my other thing too is, you know, when you start drafting speed, you can look at the Raiders for years, decades, really. Drafting speed doesn't always equate to a great player. You know, it just means you're fast down the field. But can you catch? Can you block? Can you do these things?
Right.
You know that you need to do, because just because you're fast doesn't mean that you're good.
Right.
So,
but
yeah, I was always fast and good.
So
that's why they call you eye candy, bro.
So they also got Joseph, the safety out of Illinois. I really like this pick.
Yeah.
He's a solid in the box safety, and I think that's the attitude they're looking for in Detroit. I think you got Hutchinson and Joseph that's really gonna bring that to that defense. Yeah. You already got the coaching staff for it. Detroit might win 5 games this year.
You know, and this is what I told Big Game. I said, man, look, Detroit just has a culture of losing. And so they've got to figure out how to get from under. And there's some other teams that are like that, but they have a culture, and it's from the top down. So how do you change that? That's really my question. Is how do you change a culture of losing in that whole organization?
I think Dan Campbell can help. I mean, he's a little bit out there and went a little bit over the top in his press conference, and a lot of people like to harp on that. But I think he's bringing a mindset that they were missing before, and it's going to take at least 2 more seasons to see if the team that he put together buys into that. But that's really all you can do. I believe the front office now is trying to get out the way a little bit and, letting the GM do work to bring some pieces in to see. But we know that, they lost receivers, a couple years ago. They were young everywhere else on the field. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong almost with any pick you make, because if they're the best fit at that position, you still need most of those positions on your team.
You can go wrong in any pick, quote unquote, for need. Taco Charlton, and I'm going to leave that right there.
But he wasn't the best. That's true, but that's a Cowboys thing. Y'all are good at doing that.
Yeah, but he has one of the best nicknames in the league. So,
holy segue, Batman. We have the top 6 best nicknames in the NFL.
Hey, there you go. Let's go. But that's only on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, not so much. Only on Tuesdays.
Wednesdays, 2 for $1. With Detroit changing their attitude, you might have to do something kind of extreme, because they've been the Detroit Lions for, ever. So it would be one of those things where you'd have to, I don't know, move to Pontiac or something like that, or, something. You got to do something to shake off all that bad juju or something like that in order to be able to kind of start from scratch. Go across the bridge. Become a Canadian team. Who knows?
They could do what the Bucks did and change their color scheme and all of that.
Colors that don't
exist.
That's what we're doing. That's what you want to do.
We're giving suggestions. That's what we're doing here, right?
Pewter's on the color wheel, J-Stocks. Pewter's on the color wheel. Although you say it's not. Why is it not? Color. Can you see it? I mean, I know you have glasses on, but can you see it?
It's not a real color.
You can say it and you can see it as a color.
Well, pewter's not a real color. Isn't that like
if an orange was pewter and a pewter was orange, what would you call it? But anyway,
I call that color
odor. No.
Pewter. You know what pewter is? Is what a country guy calls technology. Yeah, I'm gonna get on this pewter here. That's what it is. That's why it's in Florida.
But really, I mean, the Lions want to change their culture. They want to change their attitude. Yeah. XFL's coming next spring?
Oh, wow!
USFL is here.
They would dominate in the XFL.
Maybe.
Hold on.
Maybe.
All right.
You could be like the greater New York, New Jersey, football teams of New York.
Right.
Go to Indiana or something. I don't know. Go to Illinois. The Illinois Lions.
Yeah.
I don't know. They can all play in. Playing with Chicago in the same stadium, and maybe that'll help their cost, or I don't know.
So I gave Detroit an A on the draft. Not that we got sidetracked. Detroit gets an A from me.
They address needs, and I think those needs are going to – that's the only time it's going to tell. So they went in with the correct mindset this time. So I'm not mad at them getting the A grade.
They have the best draft in the NFC North, in my opinion.
I B plus, yeah. I think they really surprised some people with their draft as far as how well they did. I don't know if we really kind of because when you're picking that high, it's like you may reach or you may go for something that you really don't need. You're going for best player available, and then but you don't address your needs. So
right now, but
how do you say that when the Bears actually picked up Trenton Gill? He's
tell me your draft pick's going to jail without telling me your draft pick's going to jail. Raiders.
Wow.
All right.
Big facts. Those are big facts right there.
So I got the Packers up next for the NFC North. I got them with a solid B. And the only reason I gave them a B is because they took a receiver that I feel could have went a lot higher than he did in Watson from North Dakota State.
Yeah. It's
Hey
funny.
man, he's a Tampa kid, right, Mike?
I do.
He's from Tampa, and he kind of was just under the radar for a long time, and he was one of those late developing athletes.
Yeah.
And so he didn't get a lot of those SEC, ACC offers, and so he went where he fit, and he's turned into one hell of a football player. And I think that is a lot of teams were hoping that he fell past where he did in the second to try to sneak in and get him. And I think the Packers got a good one in him, and not to jump the gun, but I'm a former Nevada Wolfpack football player. And if you see Romeo Dobbs on the field, who they got, I think fourth round.
Fourth round, yep.
Hey, man, that is a bad man, and he can run every route on the route tree, and he can play the slot or the outside, and he can stretch the field. You put two of those young guns together, they're going to have to learn fast on a curve. But now –
How tall is he?
I don't even like to say that guy's name that throws in the ball in Green Bay. But
the hardball.
Yeah.
The douche?
Yeah.
Oh.
Douchey
McGee
has he has some receivers that I think he can bring along pretty
Brian's
fast to help him out.
right now.
Dude's so douchey.
But really,
I know Brian was having a bit of a problem with the draft because it was taking so long for Green Bay to actually address the major elephant in the room, so to speak, was actually the wide receiver.
Right.
So they picked up several different players, including undrafted free agent, the Cole Snyder, guard, UCF. Anyway, but it took them so long to get that wide receiver, and you do have that quarterback who at times has a certain type of skill set, even though he might also take a catalytic converter, but. It took forever for him to find at least one or two players to be able to throw to. Don't get me wrong, the Bears go undefeated this year, but we still have that team to keep kind of worry about. They've always been our Achilles heel, so to speak.
I mean, but he said that he owns the Bears. So I don't know if he bought stock or what, but he has literally said on the field on camera that he owns the Bears. He owns y'all. So
yeah.
I think he's looking to marry old lady McCaskey.
Hey,
he would probably do it.
With my wife to go marry her right now.
Is she your celebrity crush?
Planning for the future, Jay. Hey, we can do a new top 5. Yes,
that's a celebrity crush right there.
Oh my Lord! All right, we'll just transition to the team I think is going to win the North this year. Go to the Minnesota Vikings.
Really?
Lewis Sign, safety out of Georgia. I think that was a reach.
I don't think it was a reach. I think it actually was a great pickup for them at that spot. But I don't think I think for the Vikings, it's hard to tell what their needs are because it starts at the quarterback position and then it just kind of fans out from there.
But he's a winning quarterback.
So is Tim Tebow.
So is Trent Dilfer.
Ooh.
So
take you and match you one sounds like right there.
I mean,
wow.
Dilfer's got the hardware.
Hey, there's a lot of guys that get in the
hardware.
league. There's a lot of guys that get in the league and manage and win, and it's not always pretty. I just think it's the way Kirk Cousins does it that can drive people crazy.
Yeah.
He's good for 8 games, and then after that, that he's not.
Well, in that division, 8 games might get you in the playoffs.
Oh, it's definitely winning the division this year. I really think Minnesota wins the division this year.
Did they ever address their kicking issues? Did they ever address that?
Not in the draft. I know a certain team addressed kicking issues in the draft, and I won't even get into that. But
So Minnesota have drafted a kid from Georgia. Do they even have a team? I don't even know if they had any other players drafted this year.
The Bulldogs, I don't know yet. But they swooped in though for real and got a great corner in Booth.
That was my surprise right there. Is that Booth fell to the second round where he did, and he can play man. He can press. He's physical. He has good instincts. I don't know what caused him to go into the second round, but I think that he is going to be a good player to have on the side because that secondary got beat up real fast over the last couple of years.
I really thought the Bucs were going to snipe him. I really did. When the Bucs had the first pick in the second round and he was still there, there's definite need for cornerback depth on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they didn't take him.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how mad were you when? And I know we're not there yet.
So don't go there because I know what you're about to say. Don't even go there right now. I know you. I know where you're going. Just leave it alone.
That guy from Georgia the Bucs drafted.
I'll wait. No, I'll wait until we get to the NFC.
Right on.
Let's go in order. Quit getting out of order. That's what Cowboys do. That's why they can't game plan and follow a script. They get out of order and they mess things up.
We follow the script. The problem is everyone knows our script. That's the problem. That's the problem. When you run the same script over and over and over again.
Well, let me ask you this: how many people knew the fact that Prescott was going to run down the field, hold on to the ball for another 30 seconds, and kind of win the lose the game for him? Did you see that coming?
That. Yes.
I want to know why your pro quarterback doesn't know that he's not allowed to have his center spot the ball.
Bro, the same reason why the coach doesn't, the same reason why the OC doesn't, and the same reason why the quarterback doesn't. They don't practice that.
Oh my God.
Good thing Stout's at baseball right now.
Oh God, Rangers. Oh geez. Oh, it's horrible. It's so bad.
So Minnesota, right? B-.
Yeah. All right.
That's where I got them. They're a little better than the Bears in my opinion, but
actually, I think the Bears did better than them, so I give them a C.
Really?
Dang.
Yeah, I think I give them a C. I
Not
just
even a
don't
C
see
plus?
how they. I mean, I like what they did. I think Cena's going to be a good player, good pickup for him. But past that, I don't think it addressed what they could have done to help that team to get better, to win.
Start right away though. You don't see that being valued that would Booth in the second round, and I don't. Okay, I mean, it's your pick. It's you, dog. That's your grade. It's all good.
Who's running the ball up there?
In Minnesota?
Cook.
Yeah.
Come on now.
He'll be healthy this year.
They got the best chef in the kitchen.
Will he be healthy?
Or maybe we trade for the Ewok down south.
Will he be healthy?
He should be healthy this year. Well, I'm rooting for that young man, dude. I really am.
I don't want anyone to be hurt, but
let's take a trip around country, the NFC least.
Oh,
Jay Stocks, we're in your neck of the nape here, friend.
Let's go Cowboys. Yes.
Y'all
already lost the draft. Let's see if y'all lose the division.
Oh, we lost the draft. Look, I'm a football fan first. Let me just say this. I am not your prototypical Cowboys fan. I root for the boys. I don't live and die by them, but not really. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, just off the rip, the Eagles won the NFC East draft. They won.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Cowboys, they lost. Almost to the point where the commies were better. The only reason why they didn't lose, I can't even say that. Yeah, maybe the Cowboys were a little bit better than them. It was Philly, it was the Giants, it was the Cowboys, and then it was the commies. In that order.
Well, I mean, you got to tackle. He's definitely good rotation.
So we're gonna dive into those Cowboys right now.
Might as well. He's already been ranting about him since the show started.
I'm using two computers right now because my screen. That's why if you see my head turn, I'm just looking at another computer.
We can get into the mess that is Dallas.
It is a mess. It is a mess. You have a tackle that was drafted again. Tackle that was drafted 24 overall, first round. As a first round pick, that's your day one starter. Let's go. Let's get this guy. That's who you get. This guy had 16 penalties last season.
That's 4 less than your starting tackle this year.
No, that's one more than the one that we got rid of. And Connor Williams. I mean, what are we doing? It's so hurtful. It's like you trade one for another, and they're saying he's a 2 to 3 year project. Oh, really? A 2 to 3 year project? Pollard will be gone by then because he'll have a better contract because Cowboys do not pay their running backs. Less Ezekiel Elliott, and they got scared because this reminded them of Emmitt Smith, right? So they said, oh, well, let's just go ahead and pay him. But now you don't have a line in front of him, so now everyone's blaming Ezekiel for being bad when he doesn't have a line.
Those are some rose-shaded glasses if you're comparing Ezekiel Elliott to Emmitt Smith.
No. Just in contract negotiations. That's it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, good Lord.
No. I would never, like I said, I'm a fan of football. I am not that delusional, okay? Like, I'm just not. As far as the draft goes for the Cowboys, I just don't think we addressed what we could have the best way we could have, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we reached on some. Some did kind of fall in our lap. We did not go with the best player available this year. I think we addressed needs, but the way we went about it was just really weird to me. Like I said, Sam Willis, you could have gotten the third, but you got him in the second. But you got the steal in the third, for
Southern Alabama.
Yeah.
Tolbert.
So,
Yep.
Tolbert, right? So, hey, he was great at second. So, I mean, you got some good players just in weird places, but the Cowboys are really going to have to, and they had a whole bunch of fifth-round picks that, in fifth round, just kind of like, let's just see what happens here.
Yeah, it is. It's a gamble. But, Jay, look at what y'all so your center game hadn't been the same since Frederick left. Let's just be honest. And Linderbaum is sitting right there, and you pass him up. Your defensive line is struggling, and Randy the Pothead Gregory is gone, and you let Kalafis go right there as well when you can grab him. I mean, so there's probably about 5 other players that were better at need positions that you guys had.
Yes.
And you get – that was so to me, that was the tackle y'all were eyeing the entire time. And I want to say, why? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Will McClay saw something that we just don't see. Maybe it was a different kind of hold than he did in college. They won't call them in the NFL.
They would definitely call it for him. Look, it was considered 9th overall offensive lineman in the draft by a lot of different drafts and people that get paid to do this. Didn't say they're smarter. They just get paid to do it. And then the tight end from Wisconsin, we'll see because
I like Ferguson.
Yeah.
It's not a reach in a 4th round pick though, so you can't
not a reach.
Can't really be mad at it. I mean, it's still something you need because you franchise tag your other tight end, which is still asinine to me.
And this is my thing, man. If Tolbert is if he's the number 2 guy, I don't know if CeeDee Lamb is a number 1. I don't know if he's a 1 yet.
Well, he's got to be because y'all's 1 is gone.
You're correct. So you got to play him in a slot or try to actually make him another Deebo Samuel, maybe. But the OC doesn't know how to do that. So we're kind of stuck in a position. But no, like I said, I think Philly, because it just makes me cry, man. I just don't think we had a good draft this year, and we didn't do anything in free agency to address the needs that we could have. We still don't have a punter, kicker, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna suck in that. Special teams. Who needs special teams? Is that important? It's just a phase. Whatever. So
at least you didn't draft a punter.
That part.
The Bears, actually that way, the Bears drafted a punter too. But we won't get into that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
You didn't mention it at
This
all.
was like a Brady Bunch.
At all.
So, you're right. I got Dallas with a B. You got obviously lower than I got.
Yes.
I think they got good value in Ferguson and Tolbert.
Yeah.
I think Clark, the linebacker out of LSU, will play a lot in special teams for him. Kick coverage, punt coverage. He might see some rotational time, keep your linebackers fresh. But I got him with a B.
So you actually did fail to mention the fact that they did, in fact, sign a undrafted free agent from UCF, defensive end, with Kent Bryant. So I think
I was going to let you do that, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, rep it,
Great
school,
motor.
man.
Great motor. I mean, it is the 2017 national champs.
Yeah.
In their own right, yes.
He's got a great motor. I think if he packs on maybe another 5-10 pounds of and he does have some aggression, and he can actually read the play pretty well. But if you give him just a few more pounds of muscle, I think he's definitely going to be a good pickup for Cowboys for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's actually looking at it from a different standpoint as opposed to, of course, being a fan. But with the Auburn transfer.
Yeah, if he can catch, that's going to be the big thing for us. Is with Dak not being able to throw any receiver open.
You could end that sentence with Dak not being able to throw.
Whoa.
He can throw.
Stop
He
right
can
there.
throw, but
Not
he
well.
can't throw people open. No, he waits till they're open and then he throws the ball. So they're in the break. He does not throw it.
You're saying he doesn't need a window. He needs a door.
Man, he needs a garage door. Okay.
He needs a
It's all
factory
the way
warehouse
up.
garage. He needs an industrial door.
He needs the industrial. Yeah, he needs a 2-car garage that has one garage door, and then you open it. That's the one he needs. That's the one he needs.
So
Well, he often throws to the other team very well.
No,
I was
he
thinking
doesn't
that,
do
but I didn't say it.
No, he doesn't.
He
do
did it
that
well
a
in the
lot.
playoffs.
So Stocks, I got him with the B. Where you got him at with that? You going D? I mean, that's the way you're making it sound.
Well, I'm more C. I'll say C minus. I just think they reached. They got some value, but I think they reached more than they had to, and it was head scratchers.
Speaking of reaching, let's go to Washington. Jaha Dotson, number 1 pick for the Washington Lionel Richies. Wide receiver out of Penn State. Now, I had him. He's a good receiver. I comp him to Antonio Brown without the mental issues. Runs a great route tree. Quick. Good hands. Catches the ball in front of him. But I don't think he's first-round talent. I mean, I don't know.
Stoggs hates Penn State wide receivers. I don't know what they did to him. And
No,
Godwin's
I didn't say
a hell of a Penn State wide receiver.
Listen,
I was going to say, Godwin does it all. Blocks, catches.
Well, reiterate what you said to me, Jay Stoggs, in case I missed it.
Thank you.
You said I hate Penn State wide receivers.
I didn't say that. No,
You didn't say hate. I apologize. I apologize.
I didn't say that. I said there are certain schools that are known for certain things. Penn State is not known for receivers. Okay, they're not. They're known for running backs and linebackers. That's what they're known for.
And showers after practice.
And some
inappropriate touching and showers. Yes.
Some schools aren't known for football, yet guys from that school get drafted. So you can't go off of what they're known for because you
Who's
can
that shot
sign.
towards?
It's not a shot. It's just
That's a shot, bro.
why is that a
Some
shot?
schools not known for football, but they get drafted. That's a shot, man.
No. Because we mentioned Kentucky earlier about Kentucky players getting drafted this year in their basketball
That's true,
school.
Kentucky.
So that's kind of what we're reiterating, but it's not a shot at
At
anybody or anything.
JK97, Kentucky. At JK97. Hit him up.
I mean,
Write it down, take a picture. I don't care. Hit me up.
LT went to a basketball school.
So, let me ask you this now.
True.
You're telling me that this pick for Washington does not have you dancing on the ceiling?
Oh, yeah. No, it does.
See what he did there?
It does. Well,
He's not all
look,
beauty. He has some brain.
No, I'll be
the
here till
fact
Thursday.
that
Brother Veal.
No, look, the fact that they signed Carson Wentz back into the division makes me happy. That's ecstatic to me. Because, we've been beating on this kid since he was in Philly. Oh, great. Is he brittle anyway? Come on with it. Done. 2 wins.
Here's the pick that I love for Washington, right? In the 5th round, you pick up Sam Howell, quarterback from North Carolina. I really think he's the pick, though. He's going to beat out. Well, he probably won't have to because he's going to get injured third week of the season. But he'll be your starter come mid-season in Washington.
Yeah. Really, Ryan? Really? We doing that? Okay. Who was the starter? Who was the starter that won that ring? Because it wasn't Wentz, brother.
Hey, speaking of that starter, he's gone.
Yeah, the Bears are going to release him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So what about Tampa bringing him in as a backup to Brady?
Yeah.
Well, there was two players that we actually talked about. I think it was like during the draft or even last week about being Tampa. Jimmy G, of course, and you have Kyle Trask.
Jeez.
Come on.
Call Trask, man. Come on.
We made it 40 minutes without a Kyle Trask mention. That's a big deal here. Big deal.
Congratulations.
But C-. The only thing that keeps them from getting the D in my eyes is that Sam Howell pick, because I think they realize they're going to need someone that can carry the team after week 4. So I got him with a C-. Should have been a D.
You think Brian Robinson was a good pickup for him? In the 3rd round?
If you're going to run the ball, if you have the line to block, if you're in a division that allows you to run the ball, yeah. You got to run the ball if you're the Redskin or the football Washington.
Commies.
Hey, Cole Turner's a hell of a tight end too.
We won.
Where's he from? I haven't seen that yet.
Nevada Wolfpack, baby.
Did that just for you. So,
no, but he's a big guy. He's 6'6", big frame, but he can actually catch the ball. He's not Rob Gronkowski, but he's Gronkish. He will do what he needs to do. Now, that Hal Mummy offense he played in Nevada, they kept him in the slot, and dummies put a linebacker over him, and he was mossing people left and right. So you cannot guard this kid with the linebacker. You're going to have to put a safety on him to guard him and slow him down. He will block enough, but the way today's offenses are run, you have a pass-catching tight end and you have blocking tight ends. He will probably not be in on running down blocking, but I believe he's big enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it depends. A lot of these air raid offenses that are out there now running, 11 scheme or whatever, where it's just that one tight end and all that, you're like, okay, one tight end and one running back. You're like, man, they're going to have to block a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not a fan of like all super air raid and not teaching core fundamentals to every player at every position that they play. You need to learn. You need to get some. But hey, to each their own. I'm not. They don't. Yeah. I don't get paid to be a coordinator anywhere, so they don't care what I think.
About it.
I don't even get paid to talk about them, but I do a good job of doing it.
There you go. So I got Washington with a C-.
I'll give him that. I'm interested to seeing how Brian Robinson from Alabama does there. Like you said, if they allow him to run the ball, if they put it in his hands. When they did have success, it was when they incorporated their run game and took pressure off of Heineke.
Why is he not getting a shot?
Well, I think they gave him the keys to the car last year, and he never got it out of 3rd gear. He kind of got stuck and never got that thing riding out onto the freeway. So I think that somebody in that offense or in that building sees Carson Wentz as being a better fit, and that's just kind of what it is.
Do they watch indie games?
Probably not. Washington doesn't watch a lot of anything but women walking up and down the hallway.
So
they too busy getting out of lawsuits to even know what the hell is going on the football field.
Man, those are facts.
So do you think that Washington's going to be more of a passive-y team, or are they going to be more of a running offense type of thing?
If they want to have success, they need to run the ball and take pressure off of Carson Wentz. If they try to get into a pass-happy, gunslinging offense, they're not going to have a lot of success. And the thing is, I think the biggest thing about Washington is last year talked about how everyone talked about preseason, how great that defense was, and they were going to keep them in games, and it didn't look anything like that when the season started. And then they start suffering the injuries. So it's like, damn, this defense is supposed to be pretty good. What happened? So now that's kind of the thing I think everyone's waiting to see is how that bolstered up defensive line that you built over 3 previous drafts that was supposed to be so dominant. Chase Young, can he come back healthy? Are they going to be okay? I'm going to see.
So how do you have 2 first-round draft picks and come away with a C? New York Giants. How does that happen?
New York Giants. This is New York.
They're the New York Giants.
Yeah, the Gigantes.
Thibodeau was a good pick.
Good. What's the rest of the thing look like?
Great. Not great. I really think he took a lot of plays off from what I've seen of his tape.
Yeah, I will. I got to give you that one, Mike. And that's one of the things I had on him is like I question his heart. I don't know if heart's the right word, but I question it in some of the bigger games when they needed it the most because he didn't always show pure dominance. But I had him in my mock draft going number 1 overall because on pure ability. He does have the ability to be that type of defensive end in the league. If he decides to play, he's got to become an every down player.
Yeah, he has the intangibles, 100%.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has a drive. In college, you shouldn't be making business decisions until you have a contract.
I won't argue that one there.
So, Neil, tackle out of Alabama, solid pick.
Mm-hmm.
I really think you could have flipped those two personally, but love that pick. The only thing I question is why are you protecting a quarterback that you're not trusting after this season?
Well, even that, if you think about it, they might be planning to get into the QB of the future the following year. So if you get your line correct now, at least that quarterback is coming into some protection. So this isn't about Daniel Jones. Let's not get it twisted at all. They're building that line for their future leader at quarterback.
Oh, and they
Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, or just trying to get that line solidified to let Saquon Barkley do what he does to even help your bad quarterback play.
Yeah. I think it's kind of both. I think it's finally to say, okay, look, you have a line in front of you. Saquon can hopefully be healthy this season. It's all up to you. If you can't put this together now, we'll put Tyrod in to get us through the rest of the season, and we'll, not play as well, aka tank, and get the quarterback that we want, and we'll give the picks. You know how it is, man. We'll give the picks to get the first pick that we want to get the quarterback that we want. But I think it is a hey, let's see if you're really our guy, you got everything in front of you now. There's no excuses here.
Gotcha.
So what's your actual preference? Like let's say you let this year pass and you got your quarterback who you have and you had another mediocre year. Would you prefer to bring in a free agent or would you prefer to go for the draft?
Well, I think the question is who's going to be available next year as a free agent? And then the second part is that if I'm looking at this line being as young as it is, and they did pick up quite a few linemen in this draft, I look for the future. I go ahead and go in the draft for next year.
Giants have some good free agent pickups. They have a couple free agent pickups too because they got the one guard from from Indianapolis. I think they said could play center or guard. And there's another tackle they got free agency-wise too. So they tried to bring a little bit of veteran experience on the offensive line as well. I think it all falls into what offense you're running, what veteran quarterback as a team looking to get rid of that can help you right away. And then, I don't know. I'm not always sold on the sure thing at quarterback. Ask the San Diego Chargers about that with Ryan Leaf back in '98.
Oh, man,
it's just hard, man. Like you really don't know at that quarterback position. And even you go back to the Caveman Down and the not Caveman Down, but the Tim Couch and that draft class, Martin, the quarterback from Keely Smith. I mean, they 5 quarterbacks. McNabb, all these quarterbacks came and one pan out to be not even a Hall of Fame type quarterback. So these scouts and I listened to it when I watched the draft. I was like, Mel, and I still don't understand why he's on the board and because you the only idiot that think that he should be gone right now, Mel. That's why. You're trying to sell your dude. You're not going off of the pure talent and intangibles of what was seen out there. You know what I mean? So it's like it's such a gamble to put all your eggs in one basket through the draft because you just don't know how it's going to pan out. And if you miss on that first round pick at that position, it sets you back a long time.
Well, then here's
the other big name quarterbacks are still out there, though. That's the thing. Nick Foles, once he gets released, whatever the case is, there's waivers. Next thing you know, he's available.
Jimmy G.
We were talking about like Jimmy G, for example. Yeah, got some injuries.
Baker.
He's a game manager that's going to be able to kind of give them ball.
Baker is not a big.
Baker would be an upgrade to Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Would he though?
Yes,
I think Taylor will be an upgrade to Daniel Jones.
Jay Stocks thinks that I'm tripping. I said Tyrod Taylor's the starter day one in New York, and Daniel Jones gonna hold the clipboard.
I don't think he'll be the starter, but it's not because of talent. It's because you got so much money invested
in that first round pick. I got you.
First round pick.
I got you.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. Daniel Jones will be your day one starter, but I'm looking at. I don't know why they didn't make the play for Jimmy Garoppolo personally.
You can't trade for Jimmy right now anyway.
You just kind of said it though with Mike saying what you saying all the investment in Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
you can't trade to bring in that pressure. You can sign a Tyrod Taylor as a free agent to help you have a solid backup. But now if you go and make a trade, you are putting that doubt in Daniel Jones' mind. That's the last thing you want to do to mess up his mindset.
So
I think that's what
at the end of the season, wherever Jimmy, if I don't know, whatever happens, Jimmy. I just think that for Daniel Jones, this is his year. If he can't put it together this year, he's out. It's done. Yeah. No option. Let's just move on.
No arguments there.
So who do you see as a solid number 2?
Full circle, Andy. Very good.
That's just one of those things, though, because if you have that much money that you're going to be right back up into 1 year, do you really have any money left over in your salary cap for any sort of impact type of free agent? Receivers or even blockers or even anybody needs special teams and a punter.
C- in New York.
Yeah.
Let's go to the team that wins the draft Lombardi. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Blockbuster trade. They trade an 18th and the 101st pick for proven commodity A.J. Brown.
Wow.
I mean, then you have another first. You go pick up Davis from Georgia.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle. I mean, he's faster than a lot of the tight ends in the league right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
A defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Then you go get Juergens. Was slated to be one of the best linemen in the league, or linemen in the draft, but is also slated as the number 2, 1A center in the draft.
Right.
So when you go back into the third and you're getting a Kobe Dean.
Oh, Kobe Dean.
That a lot of people had as a first round draft
pick. First round pick.
Get him in the third.
I mean,
yeah.
Am I wrong? They won the draft. Yeah. I got him with an 8.
Well, we haven't got to the other team that I think might give them a run for their money. That's the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. I mean,
they had a hell of a draft too.
Ravens had a great draft. They also gave up for that great draft as well.
They sure did.
Yeah. They get, I mean,
you lose Hollywood.
But man, you can have Hollywood. He too busy worried about getting gold chains that got gold teeth on them. I ain't worried about Hollywood. He got to worry about catching the ball and being a playmaker. He worried about in his feelings already. Bye. We don't need that. Bye.
We don't cover AFC anyway, but
good. Good.
So, how do you really feel?
We got that situation. One more division until we get to the best division in the league. We're running tight on time too.
Amen.
So
was that AFC West?
We'll hit the West.
I heard what you did, Jay Styles. You're not funny either, dude.
The West is going to get the abridged version here. Arizona, I gave a C. Their best pick is McBride, the tight end out of Colorado State. I think it was a solid pick in the second round. He could have went first round if anyone really had a tight end need that early.
Right.
So I really like that pick. Nothing really else stood out for me for them. That's why I gave them a C.
But didn't they get somebody as a wide receiver?
Yeah, Hollywood Brown.
I mean, I think that's great for them. I think I put that.
Yeah, it's not a draft
part of their draft.
I think that's
part of the draft, though.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Whatever.
I mean,
it's semantics, but
Hollywood Brown is a number 1 in this league, right? I mean, that's fair assessment.
Well, he was forced to be a number 1 in Baltimore. I think he's
don't
still
do
a
that. Don't do that. Don't. He's a number 1. Okay, he's a 1.
He's a number 1 about as much as CeeDee Lamb's a number 1.
CeeDee Lamb is a number 1.
No,
Now
he's
what?
forced to be. He's a
Now
number
what?
2 receiver.
You-
He's a
Now
number
what?
2 receiver.
He's number
You
one.
guys convinced me. We'll give him a C+.
All right, there you go.
I got the Super Bowl champions coming back with a C. Nothing really impressive in this draft, in my opinion.
Well, they had no
Logan
picks.
Russ. What's that?
They barely had any picks at all.
Right.
gave
They
it all
had
up.
they had a lot of picks, but they only had 0 first day picks.
Right.
They had 2 second day picks and 3 and 4, and then the rest is all third day picks. You got 2-6 or 1-5-2-6 or 3-6-2-7s. So really, I mean, you can't be expected to do much in the draft there, right?
No.
No,
No, I mean,
they're living that free agency train right now and trade train. That's how they plan on getting better year after year, and it worked for them to get good enough to get to the Super Bowl and win it. We'll see how it plays out you can't just keep giving draft picks away and expect to be able to build, because those players you get are coming in older. They're gonna leave a little bit quicker. You're not gonna have any young foundation there.
Right. Andy, you got anything on the Rams? I mean, anything you see?
Just the guy that they took, quarterback Darian Kendrick. He's definitely solid because Georgia, again, I don't think they had too many people drafted this year, but he is definitely he is a quarterback. He's going to be there for a while.
Right.
Fast. He's aggressive. Whew.
Yeah. Seattle, I have a B. First pick, Charles Cross, solid. I really like that pick. But who's
That
he
was kind of
protecting?
surprising.
You
I was
really?
kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised that they picked him, but I think it's a good pick for him. I think it's a good pick for him. I was just kind of surprised it was Charles Cross at that point. But
Boye, my face surprises me in a second. I think there was other needs they needed in that linebacker picking him, and they said that he's fast, but he's stiff. But that shit don't go good together unless you're doing a horizontal pokey with your significant other. You can't be stiff and.
I did
so
like
much.
the third round pick.
there's so much in that statement that you just said right now.
I just
on
glossed
this
over
day.
it because I didn't want to dig too much into that.
I know you said quick hits. Okay.
Yeah.
but I really liked Walker, the running back out of Michigan.
That was a great pick for them, I think.
I think so
Walker was
too.
a good pick,
And that's what moved me up to a B on the Seattle Seahawks was that pick right there. The fact that he could come in and make impact day one.
Now, Mike, I know you got to make it quick, but are y'all surprised they didn't take quarterback anywhere at all? Like
The Seahawks,
you going in with Locke and Geno Smith is your 1-2 punch?
I think they have a Baker deal in the back burner right now.
Okay, something's got to be given right now.
I really think they do. I know Jay Stoggs hates him, but I really think Seattle has a deal in the works for
Don't hate Baker. He's just not great. He's a good quarterback.
and that's all you need sometimes.
That's true.
That's good.
But I'll tell you this. I don't think they drafted a quarterback because they felt his lock was better than any other quarterback that was in the draft. And I'll say this, none of them are good. There it is.
They're good. They're just not blowing your socks off.
right.
They're not even putting them on. What are you talking about?
I want to see the buff nerd at quarterback.
So I got Seattle with the B. They get the best grade in the division, in my opinion. And we go down to that terrible team, the 49ers.
Ooh.
Drake Jackson at the edge at USC. I mean, do you really need more edge help if you're the Niners?
No.
I don't.
They do.
That pick didn't make sense to me. I mean, maybe they have a plan. Maybe they're going to switch defensive fronts here soon. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. And I really didn't see anything great for them. I do like Gray out of Southern Methodist, solid wide receiver. But again, you got so much controversy right now in San Francisco. You're losing possibly one of the best running back wide receivers in the league right now.
You got to keep Debo. If that's a whole chunk of your offense, you cannot get back.
Right.
And he makes everyone else on that offense, those other receivers, better when he's on the field. They got to get that figured out.
I don't think they're losing, though. He may be disgruntled. He may sit out. I don't know, but he's not going to get traded. So.
John Lynch went to Stanford. He's not that retarded.
Yeah.
So you do have Mr. Irrelevant here, with Brock Purdy. Does he make 53? Is he just a camp body? And you don't usually see a team going quarterback with the last pick in the draft.
I mean, they can
swing
in between the practice squad and the 53 if they have to. I mean, it's one of those
there's no COVID protected players this year, right? So
no.
you can't do that. You can't run the taxi like you used to, where you would protect a player, bounce him back and forth.
But they did up the number on the active roster. So
did they? To what?
Was it 50? I want to say 58 maybe. It's not 53 anymore. I know it's up now.
Oh,
because you also forgot to mention the defensive tackle they took. I think it was like 220 or something like that. Davis.
I was waiting in the 6th round. I was waiting on it. I saw it. I wasn't gonna say that.
I think it went Georgia Bulldogs, UCF for most players drafted in the draft. They were
Georgia. They got a school.
They're there. So let's stop wasting time. We give the Niners a B- just because they're the Niners, and I feel sorry for them. But let's go to the friendliest, nicest, greatest division in the league. Are you guys ready for this? Someone mark the tape because here comes something big. The Atlanta Falcons won the division in the draft. I really think the Atlanta Falcons come away with this draft with an A-.
Wow. Them taking Taysom Hill Jr. in the 2nd round?
You talking about Troy Anderson? The linebacker out of Montana?
Yeah, he had more highlights running the ball than he did making tackles.
Dude, check this. He played quarterback, like 6 games.
Yeah.
He played running back a full season and linebacker. They have a player on their team that, I mean, they could run the entire show with 2 players. You've got Cordero Patterson, who plays wide receiver, running back, strong safety, and you got a quarterback, running back, linebacker.
Yeah.
Game, set, match. They're an arena football team with 2 players.
This is not a band, okay? You you can't have a backing track in football. You know what I'm saying? That's not we just need 2. We're good. We just the backing track. No,
I mean,
you need more than that.
No, they did have the Falcons had a good draft. I mean, I know a lot of. I did a show with one of our normal guests on our show, Big Low Country from Low Country Sports, and he was like, time can tell, but with the instability of Calvin Ridley, I think you see a player like Drake London there, you have to go get it.
Yeah.
A lot of the Atlanta Falcon fans wanted Christian Williams later in the draft, but at the same time, Drake London was a talent, has a need, will go good with the way they play Pitts. I feel like you have to take him because you don't know if Ridley going to be there or be at the sports book on Sunday.
I'm not
he's already suspended for a whole year.
I'm not a gambling man at all. Like, I don't gamble, but I'd be willing to bet that Ridley's not with the Falcons after this next season.
Yeah, because he's suspended for their whole season this year, right?
This whole season, but I don't think he's here next year.
I don't think so either. I think the Falcons, and I think that's why they got Drake London.
That's my point right there. So this draft, I don't think was for this year.
Okay, makes sense.
I think this draft here builds them for next year.
Right.
Because, I mean, I can't say this guy's name's Ibi Ebiketie. I think he's solid, but I think he's solid.
That's a steal, I think, where they got him.
But I don't think he's a steal this year. I think he's solid next year.
Okay.
I think he starts next year. I don't think he starts this year. Even with the bad line they have, I think he's going to take some time to mature, put a little more weight on.
But they have nothing at the edge, man.
Atlanta's
horrible at the edge.
I think
Cordero Patterson is changing his number to 96 and is going to play defensive end.
Hey, while you playing, he might be able to do it.
He's big enough. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
But
he is.
So I got the Falcons.
Yeah.
I got the Falcons with an A-.
So Are you surprised that the Falcons didn't actually more of a thin quarterback?
That's was something I was gonna bring up,
Pick
but
another quarterback.
I was pressed for time. But Desmond Ritter shocked me. I really thought Malik Willis was the pick. I really thought Atlanta. It just felt right to me. It felt like that was where he was going to be, and it just didn't happen.
I think there's something out there about Malik Willis that we don't know, and that's why Atlanta passed on him. But I think
Carolina passed on him too.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter fits that mold of what Arthur Blank wants to blank, whatever the head coach, I forget his name, not Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank.
That's the owner. But whatever, I mean, it just fits something that they like in that style of play. He's built a little bit like Mariota. He doesn't run like him, but I think he can come into that system and learn and be the quarterback that they need after getting some experience.
Right. So Desmond Ritter, that, like I said, Andy, that shocked me. I think he's got a higher floor than Willis's, but I don't think the ceiling is there.
I also think, though, I think they didn't want to jump that high for Willis. You got two third rounds, two second rounds, two third rounds. You don't want to spend it on a quarterback like that's in this class. You don't have a fourth, so it's like, you know what? Hey, this is good enough to where we are, and we'll see what he is, and we'll just kind of move from there.
Right on.
I got
what's that?
With Ritter, for example, he little familiarity with him and stuff like that. But I mean, he's a tall kid. Mm-hmm. He's fairly accurate. He's got a pretty decent arm. He's mobile. I just don't necessarily see, in the offense that he actually played in, I don't want to say it's the most complicated, but, they probably did well enough. Mm-hmm. I can't see why he wouldn't have any success in the NFL. And especially if look who you're backing up.
Yeah, but the reason why he's not going to have any success in the NFL is the organization he plays for.
There's that part. They haven't been the same since the Patriot loss.
But
right. That's a good point. Real good point.
The next team I have with a decent grade, believe it or not, is the Carolina Panthers. Got them with a B+. I think they addressed some needs. I think Corral was a reach, especially to trade picks for him, but he addresses a need. I like Brandon Smith, the linebacker out of Penn State. I think he'll see time on special teams early, maybe progress into playing time come mid-season, late in the season. I got him with a B+. Their first round pick didn't surprise anyone. I can't even say his last name. Ekwonu. Good pick.
Some people say he's the best tackle. I mean, so I don't think between him, Evan Neal, or Cross, I don't think he can go right. It just depends on what's there, what you grab, and who fits your offensive scheme better. But I think that's something that they've been lacking for the last couple of years. So they had to start to try to adjust the offensive line and then go where they can. Corral, I'm surprised he came off when he did, but
I wanted him to go running back there, in my opinion. I think that's where you go running back if you're the Panthers, just because McCaffrey's old. I mean, old for a running back. He's got a lot of wear on his tires.
Yeah, he hadn't finished the season, I think, in the last 3.
He's your typical Ferrari running on spares. You got donuts on both lead tires.
Who's
there.
their receivers right now?
Moore is one of them. Right?
Yep, and you're done.
So that was the surprise for me. Like, hey, go get some receivers. Unless I didn't get that part of it, and I know there was.
They got Robbie. Do they still have Robbie Anderson?
Man, stop it.
Yeah, that one.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just asking, is he there?
I hear you, but it's if you Matt Rule to me is on the hot seat this season. And
already?
Oh man, it's been. If you bring in Cam Newton to try, or even a consideration, like maybe we'll bring in Cam, maybe that'll help. Oh, we'll get Sam Darnold, maybe that'll help. Like you run out of options, bro. Like and then you pass on Baker. I think this year you may see some things go crazy in Carolina.
Yeah. Jimmy G to Carolina.
Makes sense.
I don't see why not.
But I got Carolina with a B plus. And Saints are another team that kind of heard the bed. You know what I mean? I mean, you have 2 first-round picks. Olave, solid wide receiver, great. I think he'll fit real well with Jameis. Runs a good deep route. Jameis throws a good deep ball. But Trevor Penning, tackle out of Northern Iowa, was a bit of a reach for me.
At 19, you think it was? I mean, he had a good grade. He's long arm. He's nasty. Going to be a decent pass protector. I think when you hear someone coming out of a smaller school at that position, you're just like, could y'all got him later? But I don't think it was worse than, where Dallas got Smith, their pick. I mean, he was ranked up there as far as offensive line grade. Wasn't horrible for them.
I mean, and you're a small school tackle. I mean, what were your thoughts on Trevor Penning? He's that big 6'7", 330, 340 out of Northern Iowa.
Especially that tall, you could probably add another couple pounds and, kind of really get nasty, especially for your run blocking and stuff like that. And I think that's the only good thing is I think you're right. I think that's something you probably could have got a little bit later, maybe even undrafted. Some of the film that we did see, in fact, he did have good hands, good feet, quick feet, actually, for as big as he is. And like I said, if you can actually get down with that with a few more pounds, even 10, 15 pounds, just of actual muscle, his run block is going to be ridiculous. So
anyone else stand out for you guys with the Saints? I did like the Jordan Jackson pick just because I love seeing armed servicemen get drafted in the NFL. I really like that pick.
Is he going to be allowed to play? I know they had that rule.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to fulfill his contract, and then it's up to the.
6 years, so I don't know.
It depends on if they waive it. And I know last year they had a problem with the one guy who it was the Buccaneers.
The Bucs, yep.
Yeah, so it's all up to that service academy, and I don't know if that was Air Force or Navy that wouldn't allow that. I think it was Navy that didn't waive it, and they made him go. So, it all depends.
Yeah.
Because I think the Navy was going to get they were going to let that oh my goodness, what's his name? The quarterback that was at Navy.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
Right, and so they were going to let him, and then all of a sudden he didn't, and then I think he actually came in and said, "Hold on, let me just do my time," and he's probably still in actually. So,
wow,
I wish I could have definitely seen in the NFL because obviously service academy, smart kid for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay-ish arm, even though Navy passes once every 14, 18 years or something like that.
Yeah, they throw every other season.
Wow.
Exactly.
If you're a receiver, don't go to Navy. I mean, unless you want to just serve your country. Other than that, you're not going to catch no balls in Navy.
I don't know. Last year, they actually had something like 20 or 25 passes throughout the course of the year, which is like almost 3 times more than what they usually do.
Wow.
It's kind of wild.
Dude, that's Dak in a quarter.
I think they're trying to, open up the running game more by passing.
I'm so sick of it, James. I'm so sick of it.
Oh man, you said it, not me. I'm just.
This is Andy stalling, trying to keep me from getting to the greatest team in the league,
the best team in the league right now, baby.
So, Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft, solid B in my opinion. Logan Hall, a little undersized. I think it's a good value pick.
I was 6'6", 285 undersized.
Let me finish.
I know. That's been floating around, I know, in some of the Buccaneer groups. And I'm just like, come on.
Because he's skinny.
Exactly. 285 at 6'6" is, I mean.
Did y'all see Simeon Rice's legs when he played in Tampa?
Bro.
I'm just saying. Man.
Most of those big guys like that have skinny baseball legs. Like, the calves are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Javon Curse's legs in the league?
Man. Like baseball bats, bro.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, could he put on 20, 25 pounds with that height? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I think he'll play this year? Absolutely. The writing's on the wall for JPP, right? He's out. He's done in Tampa. He might be done in the league. Andy, is your opportunity? No? All right. So, I mean –
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah.
He's
How
got the fingers
mad
for
were
it.
you? How mad were you when Tampa traded out of the first round?
Oh, I loved it.
I wasn't mad at all because I wanted Jermaine Johnson, and then once the Jets moved ahead of us to get him, I was like, well, that was to me that was the one player left. I was like, oh damn, we got a steal coming. And I was at your house when the draft was going on, Stocks. You heard me say this, and I was like, I'm not even mad we traded out now because the player I think I was mad that the Jets snuck in ahead of us.
Yeah, I was mad. I was mad Johnson was gone because that's when he started falling. I was like, "There's a chance."
That's what I kept saying to my. I was like, "Ooh!" I said, "We're gonna get Johnson. We're gonna get."
I don't want to trade up. I don't want to lose capital that we have, and then we wasted on a damn punter anyway. But I mean,
that's why I thought you were going Jay Stocks earlier.
No, well, it was that part too.
I mean,
great for me.
Is, in your opinion, James, is Logan Hall a step down from Johnson?
Yeah,
because I think it's a chasm. I mean, I think it's a large step down.
You can't compare the two, but for how they'll play him in this Bulls defense, it'll work because they'll put him, either on that 5 or maybe that 4-eye help with Shaq or somebody else coming off the outside. He serves a purpose. He's a kid that got better, and his grade got better as the season went on at Houston. So I still think that he has a lot of upside and potential. It wasn't. I still I like Johnson out of Connecticut also, the defensive tackle there, which I thought they could, who fell to the 3rd round, which
I like him.
I think is a great pick for a 3rd round guy. I'm not mad about Logan Hall. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. A lot of people were, oh my God, we wasted a pick. We're gonna throw ourselves backwards, and he's not gonna be. Hey man, they saw something in him. Light's been doing a pretty good job.
Well, I'm not saying that he was a bad pick. I just
not you, but like some of the other groups I'm on, like Buccaneer groups. I was in there yesterday, and I found it was like, hey man, somebody shut up because y'all are just stupid right now, and I had to leave because I was like, some of the comments are just dumb, and it's like if you don't know the players past the first 15 picks, go look into what they got and how he fits the scheme that he's coming into because it's not always pretty, but for the most part. Coaches know what's going to work for that defensive system and scheme that they have. Because I was kind of like, a lot of people said that we're trying last year, like, oh my God, he's so skinny, he's so this, he's that. But in moments when he had to come in and play for JPP, it was like, okay, I can see where this kid's going to be good down the road. He's just got to keep getting on the field.
Yeah, I think Tryon fits a 3-4, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if Hall does.
Well, like I said, he can play that. He can play that tackle / in the inside position because you're going to have, that the hybrid end stand up outside of him to help him maybe absorb some of that. He played gaps well. He shed blocks okay. So I think he can avoid the double team by creating the 2 different levels on the line to play the gap to make the tackles. Yeah. That's what he's going to have to rely on. And I think his long arms is why they fell in love with him at that position.
Well, I like his punch. I mean, I like his punch, his first move. But I really didn't see much of a counter out of him. You know what I mean?
If he doesn't beat you with the first, a shed, and create that separation, like I said, coming off, it's going to be tough, and he's got to learn that. And Booger McFarland made a real good statement during the draft is that the defensive line coach has got to get his hands on him now and start teaching him that defensive lineman toolbox, we like to call it. Every D lineman has a toolbox. You got 2 or 3 tools that you work with the most that you're going to carry into that game. He's got to develop that toolbox. Right now, he got an empty toolbox. He's got to put some tools in.
Yeah, he's got to grow.
But do you think if they're playing 3-4, they just keep him out there on the edge and stand him up?
I don't see him watching him play, Jay, and how he played. Not trying to be funny. I don't see him being versatile. Like to me, every time I think right now stand up, I think Shaq Barrett. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him stand up and being able to play the part like that. He's going to have that hand down in the dirt on that inside eye of that tackle.
But if he's that big, I'm thinking DeMarcus Lawrence, where it's like, hey, he can stand up and,
I think Lawrence is more athletic. I'm not trying to be funny. That's just like my opinion right now.
Like I said, okay, I'll take that, man.
Just going for it, too. I don't know. Offensive tackle, Central Michigan. That's probably my most exciting. That, and I just want to make note about the fact that they actually took a punter before the Bears did.
Yeah. And you know what? The punter pick, but let me defend the punter pick a little bit, right? We have had an expensive punter. I guess you'd say. He's still on roster, and I don't think he's going to be on roster come, week 1. So Bradley Pinion's on the move. It's going to free up cap space just by signing a rookie punter that can also kick off like Pinion does. He's got a big leg. His directional punt is pretty solid. His kickoffs, all you want of your kickoff is to at least go 2 yards into the end zone or splash around that area. So you're either forcing a return or a touchback. So I think it was a move to save money. I think it was a fiscal move rather than talent.
You did have the quarterback who actually dropped some, renegotiate his deal as well. I mean, he's going to probably be your quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Stocks?
No, I was just gonna say, did I go to the restroom or something? There was a run on punters, and that's why you guys was like, hey, we got to get this punter in the 4th round.
There was a punter drafted just before him.
No. I said run, like a run, like a run, like, hey.
Yes.
Like
we didn't have a pick until the 7th after that, right? So they
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, you had a 5th round.
Well, we traded to get those.
5th round.
Going into that, we had to trade back into the 5th to get that pick.
Right. But anyway, I was so mad when we got the punter because I wanted Zion McCollum. I
wanted him in the 4th?
I wanted him in the 4th. I said it beginning of April that I think he's going to be a sleeper pick in the draft. He's probably the most talented corner athletic-wise in the draft this year.
He had the biggest numbers at the combine, didn't he, for the position?
He did.
Yeah.
And he had the highest grade, but he didn't show well in the Senior Bowl. If he'd have had a good Senior Bowl, he'd have went 2nd round.
And that's coming from Sam Houston State, where it's a little bit smaller school. But
yeah,
I some of his game film, Mike, I feel you. I think that's a steal and at a need that he will make the team. He's gonna have to contribute special teams first, but I think that he can fill in to be maybe like that nickel corner or something like that to help us out.
I think he takes time away from Sean Murphy bunting by the end of the year.
Okay,
that's my opinion. But so Bucks get a B. I have the Falcons with the best score in that division. Appreciate you guys' time today. We're way, way over our normal schedule time. I have people rustling upstairs. I got stuff I got to do. Want to spend some time with family today. So.
It's those extra Bucks fans, man. That's why. Gotta watch
right. But I appreciate you guys. You want to plug your
over here?
Plug your show one more time. You got 2 of them that go get out there, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have the Chop Shop on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Of course, on Big Game Sports Buzz. That's on Thursday, 6 p.m. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast platform. We are
and just added the Amazon Music as well.
And we also added, yes, that's part of your favorite platform that you can do that.
You didn't say, you just said favorite. I want to be known.
So if you're on Amazon,
network
so
now.
Thanks a lot, guys, for letting us come on. So yeah, definitely check us out on there. We have some other stuff that's coming up, but definitely check us out.
Yeah, Chop Shop's a lot of fun. I'm always checking you guys out there.
Hey, Mike, you got to let us know your schedule when you're available to come on, man, so we can have you on the Chop Shop, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As soon as I can get something together.
Yeah, just shoot me a message and let us know, man. We'll be glad to have you on and join the foolishness.
Yeah, right, we'll get you on for a good top 5 as well.
All right, gentlemen.
Appreciate you much.
Wow, long show, Andy. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it was no big deal. I mean, I kind of, started falling asleep when you guys started talking about, the second division, the Division 2 and 3 teams. But
yeah, you're pretty quiet today. I'm not used to that.
Couldn't get an edgewise. Couldn't get a word in edgewise. You kept talking.
Well, my brother, I appreciate you. See you next week.
Did you want? I mean, we're already over. If you want to still do the top 10,
right,
the top 5, 6. Because we're here anyway. Let's just go ahead and do it. So, of course, you got to put number 1. This is actually the top 6 football nicknames ever in the history of ever. Number 1, Walter Sweetness Payton. How can you even deny it?
Oh, I'll give you that. Can I throw the assassin Jack Tatum in at 2?
We can put him at 2.
All right.
So you got to put now. I would say like 2B, or not 2B. Anyway, it would have to be Broadway Joe Namath. Now, not only was he a cultural icon, he was, of course, you name it, fashion. He did, of course, commercials, and that had all kinds of influence. But I think he ended up winning. No, did he win? I don't remember. He was number one. He ended up beating those the Johnny Unitas-led Colts.
Yeah.
And so naturally, you have to put Broadway Joe, as like a 2B.
Okay. Well, then if we're throwing Broadway Joe, you got to go Joe Cool, right? You got Joe Burrow and Joe Montana.
Montana. Who? I don't think I ever heard of him.
So Joe Cool gets the nod, no?
I'm thinking Joe Montana, he doesn't necessarily have a nickname per se.
Joe Cool?
Joe Montana?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Joe Burrow.
Ah, Jesus.
The only
I'll
real
leave Joe Cool off. How about Mean Joe Green?
You know what? We could definitely go with Mean Joe Green. Not only was a heck of a player, but man, he made some of the best Coca-Cola commercials ever.
I wasn't old enough for that.
Hashtag Coca-Cola. Need support.
Possible sponsor. All right. So we've got 4, 2 more.
Well,
I mean, Bo technically is a nickname.
Who?
Bo.
Jackson.
I mean, is there any other?
Ryder?
How about Bronco Nagurski?
I would say that's probably one of the more iconic names. Absolutely. Just simply because obviously, there's a Bears affiliation there, but that just sounds like a football name. You might as well call him, Football McFootball-y.
Gotcha. We got one more, man.
How about William the
Refrigerator Perry? We'll go with that. You say the fridge, everyone knows who you're talking about, right?
Absolutely.
All right, then. So we've got the fridge, Bronco Nagurski, Mean Joe Green, Broadway Joe, the assassin Jack Tatum, and, of course, Sweetness.
Because that's all you say. Just
Right
like
on.
Bronco, just like the refrigerator, Sweetness.
Right on. Well, special thanks to Big Game James and the Buff Nerd. Appreciate you guys being on today. We'll see you all next week, 9 a.m. Same bat time, same bat channel.